Hi, I'm Jason Weber for ThatShelf.com, and we're here to look at the Black Friday Record Store Day exclusive of The Doors live in Detroit.
Big shelf.
So it's a pretty great time to be a Doors fan. There's a ton of stuff coming out. We've shown the UHQR on this channel. There's the new box set coming out with new remasterings. For years, you've had the 45 RPM versions. There's a ton of live stuff. A couple record store days ago came out the LA Woman sessions, etc. And there's been a bunch of live recordings that have come out as well, finally coming out of the vaults. I think this is, if you're a Doors fan, this is prime time because you're actually getting, sure, I guess prime time would have been actually seeing them live at the time, but nonetheless, frankly, from my perspective, I'd almost rather be here than at some of these concert environments given the nonsense that went on there. I think the recordings like Woodstock are probably better for me to have a little bit of distance. That is another conversation to have. Anyway, here's The Doors live in Detroit, as it says on the sticker, recorded May 8th, 1970. 2 and a bit years before I was born. One of the longest Doors shows ever caught on tape, includes a 17-minute version of the end, a real rarity among recorded live shows, available for the very first time on vinyl. And you get the little barcode there. Back of the box, little photo of Jimbo and the rest of the band. Side A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Produced and mixed by the one, the only Bruce Botnick. All put together. So let's crack this open and see what is inside. It's one of these. It's not a weird sort of hinged box. It's one of these boxes you sort of lift up and over. Clamshell. There's the word we're looking for. It is not a clamshell. It's just a box. A gift box? What do we want to call this? I don't know. Let me know in the comments what I should be calling this. As we carefully open it up so that I can keep the sticker. So, boop. I lift the cover off as carefully as I can. Jim, black. And inside here is what we immediately are gifted with. So we have a booklet. So there is the band. There's a breakdown of all the tracks. You can see a little bit of verbiage that actually sort of details these elements. Cobo Arena permanently barred the Doors for entering their doors again. Excellent. That seems... Danny Sugarman, of course. Who else would be doing that? And then post-production notes from Bruce Botnick. If the eyes are the windows of the soul, then the ears are the portals of the rekindled experiences. There are remembrances of time frozen in sound recording. The colors psychedelically induce. The smells, pot, incense, and sex all come flooding back. And there you are with the Doors, May 8th, 1970, in Detroit, Michigan at Cobo Arena. And then he goes on to about the myth, the facts. Included on this album are 48 kilohertz 24-bit digital mixes from the original 8-track analog masters. Where part of the show were removed from the 8-track tapes and subsequently lost, we were able to fill in the holes using the live 2-channel analog tapes. They don't sound exactly the same, but bringing the complete experience was more important in the end than the quality of the sound. And then he gives some example from the beginning of Roadhouse Blues, and he actually breaks it down, and then the technical information, etc. Even shows that it was 1 inch was BASF LR56 with a speed at 15 IPS NAB and recording levels at plus 3 dB elevated level above Ampac's standard operating level of 185 NWB. This, my friends, is nerdy, and it has all the other stuff. The 1-inch 8-track masters were carefully transferred on Studer 827 through DB Technology AD122 analog to digital converters at 4824 and stored on a Gen X 8500 digital optical disc recorders. The mix was done digitally through a Sony DMX R100 with reverb from TC Electronic 6000. Loudspeakers used were B&W 801 Nautiluses. So I'm going to be listening to these on 802 Diamonds, which are very much similar to that. So it'll be very interesting that this was actually mixed on not dissimilar speakers to my own. That I'm very excited about. Thank you, Bruce, for including all that nerdiness for me. The records themselves, you can see a little ticket information, and here they all are. These are paper sleeves, not polylined, it looks. Nope, just straight up paper sleeves. Cobo Arena on the back, and the record themselves, because they're straight in paper, might have a little bit of schmutz. see how the records themselves look. You see I'm doing this very poorly. Sorry about that. But actually, they don't look so bad. A little bit of paper nonsense. And what I can see immediately here, oh look, a giant BG. Mr. Grunman, with his initials on here, who has been taking over so much of the Doors stuff of late. So here's Bernie doing Live in Detroit. Side A and B. I'm going to put this here. Be careful. Actually, I'm going to find a way to do this without destroying everything. Because if we do this, it looks like, if I'm not crazy, oh no, it doesn't. I thought this might be one of those ones that actually forms a puzzle. Guess it might. Nah, it doesn't quite work. Because this is this. I thought it might be one of those ones that you put them all together and it doesn't. Alas. Here's another of the records. This one happens to be C and D. Again, pretty immaculate, no particular issues. We're just double checking because I figure if I'm going to have problems, other people might have problems. If I don't have problems, at least we can see that it's possible to not have problems. No weird fingerprints, no, just a little bit of some, paper nonsense. Very, very clean, very clear. Certainly sufficient for what we would hope. And then the last one. If I can learn how to open this. There we go. Same thing. No issues whatsoever. Black vinyl. Looking perfectly fine. So, super excited to be digging into this. Doors at their peak. Certainly Doors at their most chaotic. But I think it'll be very, very exciting to actually be able to delve in this particular era. And, the time where they actually get kicked out of Stadia and are never allowed back in. Very typical for this band. It's so funny. For years, I was trepidatious about listening to Doors. It took me a while to actually sort of navigate what they were doing. I don't even know why. I think a lot of the people that I knew that really loved the Doors were not people that I wanted to be around, something like that. But nonetheless, I soon grew to love their music. And I spend probably less time navigating some of the more esoteric stuff than others. But this gives me a real excellent opportunity for me to actually be able to dive in. And I'm super looking forward to it. So this is exactly the kind of thing that you're craving for on Record Store Day. Something that, may be a minor release for many people, but for those who really want it, is the kind of thing that they're going to seek out this specific live concert and actually get an opportunity to have sort of a relatively low run, but to have the sort of impetus of going to Record Store Day and actually picking up something. If this just came out a regular release, it might be sort of buried within the regular catalog, but here, by being sort of slightly presented in a more elegant way, it actually allows something like this to actually come to audiences that are actually craving it. And for that, I celebrate all things Record Store Day. For ThatShelf.com, I'm Jason Gorber. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, ring the bell, follow us on social media, do all that stuff. It really would help a lot. Really, really appreciate it. And we will see you next video. All the best. Take care.